welcome to another episode of Two Gold Diggers. I'm Lamika Weeks.
I'm Sonia Brown.
And we hope you've had a great week. We've been discussing the book No Excuses by Brian Tracy. And so we just want to kind of continue the conversation and see where you guys are in achieving those goals.
Yes, we definitely hope that you've had a phenomenal week and that you have had the opportunity. No, we're confident that you have had the opportunity and you have purchased your copy. Or, as Lamika mentioned in the last video, if you've got a long commute, the perfect thing to do is download a copy of the book and listen to it, on your way to work, on your way home from work. It's a really, really great tool to help you achieve those goals.
Absolutely.
Now, what did we discuss last week?
Don't tell me.
Getting off the ice.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to keep this. So getting off the island is what we discussed last week.
Right. So last week, one of the things, the fundamental things that we learned about the introduction to this book is that it is so important for you to vote yourself off of the island.
Yes.
And what island is that? It is the island of excuses, where there is nothing going on except excuses, excuse making, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We are now at a point in this book, chapter 1, or actually part 1 of this book, that talks about what you do once you get off, once you've made the decision, you've declared yourself off of the island. One of the things that you want to do is achieve those goals. And this book, Brian Tracy's No Excuses, is very closely related to the 4 disciplines of execution. Yes. Now, I will say for me, the 4 disciplines of execution was geared more toward businesses and corporations. Yes. However, it is still applicable to your personal life and your personal goals.
Right.
This book, Brian Tracy's No Excuses, is definitely relatable, and you can pretty much fit it into any situation, any goal that you have achieved or that you want to achieve, anything in life that you want to do. This book is definitely a great book to help you do that.
Right. And one of the big things now, it's May. We were so excited to have our goals in January. And so now it really comes down to, are you doing what you say you were going to do? So we're going to talk about some, 7 steps to being able to do that if you've gotten off of it, or if you made the goals and you kind of want to revisit, the way you've been doing it. This is going to be a great opportunity to revisit, kind of what's been going on.
Right. And this book, 21, at the very top, it lets us know that within the book, Brian Tracy is going to discuss 21 ways to achieve lasting happiness and success. So each part of the book is 3 parts to the book, and so he breaks down a few of those ways to achieve happiness and success. And one of the things that we want you to take away from part 1, if you don't take anything else away from it, is going to be the portion of part 1 where he talks about the 7-step guide to achieving your goals. Those 7 steps are, the first thing that you want to do is decide exactly what you want, write it down, set a deadline for your goal, make a list of everything you can think of that you could possibly do to achieve your goal, organize your list by both sequence and priority, take action on your plan immediately, and then the 7th thing is do something every day that moves you in the direction of your major goal. Now, if you need to pause the tape here and go back and revisit that and take a look at it, make sure you do that and then write that down, or get your highlighter, get your book, and you highlight that in your book. But those 7 steps are very, very critical to achieving your goals as well as to achieving lasting happiness and success. Right. So now that we've listed those, I guess, Lamika, how do those goals look? How would we apply those in real life?
Right. So the first one was figuring out what your goals are. Figuring out what your goals are. And so as we've mentioned with Two Gold Diggers, this was something that we talked about, and we talked about it, but we hadn't written it down. And so as soon as we wrote it down, it just made it, we had identified what we wanted to do. And now we were able to move forward in the goal setting process of being able to get it done. So the first thing is to do is to decide what you want to do, whatever that is. For us, it was creating a platform, which you're now seeing, which is Two Gold Diggers.
Right. And then once we did that, we put deadlines to it. We wrote down everything that we needed to achieve the goals.
Yeah.
We even took it a step further to say, what is it that's going to maybe obscure our path?
Right.
What obstacles will we need to overcome? And of course, we get together with our mind storming sessions and we brainstorm certain things.
Okay.
And of course, we throw caution to the wind and we say, we're just going to go for it. Because in some things, in some instances, especially this one, because she is a business owner, I'm a business owner, we tend to, and I think we speak for a lot of business owners, we tend to not want to move forward with something until
Right.
we have everything in place.
Yes.
You can't do that. Set your goals, set deadlines, write down everything that could possibly get in the way of those goals, everything that you're going to need, everything that you don't have, and then just go for it.
Right.
In the event you have to extend your deadline, that's okay.
Yes.
We've had to extend deadlines on
Right.
several occasions.
Right.
But just know that, it's not that you haven't reached your goal, it's just that you needed to set another deadline.
Right.
You needed additional time. And don't beat yourself up about it.
Right.
And don't get back on the island because of that.
Right, absolutely. And I always tell people, don't change the goal, you change the deadline. Because
Right.
so often people will let the goal go by the wayside because they weren't able to meet it in the time frame that, that they initially set. But you don't want to, don't change the goal. That's never the answer to it.
Right.
It's always, change your deadline to reaching that. So yeah.
Exactly, because one of the things that we talked about last week in the last video is the cemetery is full of brilliant ideas and
Yes.
dreams and goals.
Mm-hmm.
So while we can never get time back, still never change that goal. Just extend your deadline.
Exactly.
And keep working toward it because you just never know. Something or someone could come in and help you with everything that you need, but at the same time, if you don't get that something or someone, continue to move forward, continue to press forward, continue to shoot us your questions. If
Yes.
you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer them and help you in any way we can. And we're also more than happy to share with you things that have worked for us and things that don't work for us.
Right. So yeah, and one of the other things is, so speaking of sharing your feedback and your ideas with us, we had someone tell us that they voted themselves off the island.
Yay! So shout out to
excited.
Tawana. Hi, Tawana.
Yes. So congratulations
Yes.
for keeping yourself off the island.
Yes, Tawana hit us up on Facebook and she let us know that she voted herself off of the island. She gave a huge shout out to her husband who is supporting her as she launches her business, and she gave 2 gold diggers a shout out, and she wanted to let us know that she is officially off of the island.
Yes.
So as soon as we have more information on her business and as soon as she's ready for us to share it, we'll be more than happy to share it with you. At the same time, if you've got a business and you're going to vote yourself off of the island, let us know
Yeah.
so that we can congratulate you publicly
Yeah.
for voting off, for getting off of the island and just jumping in and swimming with the sharks.
Absolutely.
So next week, the next time we see you, we will be discussing part 2 of Brian Tracy's No Excuses. Again, we know you have your copy, but if you don't, it's not too late. Get it, download it, read it, get the information some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's closely related to the 4 disciplines of education. I'm sorry, the 4 disciplines of execution, because education is key as well.
Right.
But it's closely related to the 4 disciplines of execution. And until we see you next week to discuss part 2.
Right.